Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're a Java developer who's ready to finally break free from the command line, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive into JavaFX and see how you can build beautiful, interactive applications that people can actually see and use. Let's get into it.
So, have you ever been there? You write this awesome piece of code, you're super proud of it, and then it just runs in that boring old black and white console window. If you've ever thought, I wish I could build something with buttons and graphics, then stick around.
Well, that's where JavaFX comes in. It's Java's modern toolkit, built from the ground up to help you create sleek, responsive desktop apps that look great and work everywhere. This is how you give your code a face. Now, if you've been in the Java world for a bit, you've probably heard of its predecessor, Swing. Well, JavaFX is the next generation, and the biggest difference is a total game changer. Instead of mashing your layout and logic together in code, JavaFX uses FXML to say what goes on the screen, and CSS, yep, just like for websites, to say how it looks. And that's not just a neat trick. It means a designer can perfect the UI without ever needing to touch the application logic. That's a huge, huge win. Okay, so to really get a handle on how JavaFX is put together, we're going to use a little analogy that makes it all make sense. I want you to think of every application you build as a theater production.
Right, so first things first, every show needs a building, a physical theater, right? In JavaFX, that is your stage. It's the main window of your application, the container for absolutely everything else that's about to happen.
Okay, so you've got the theater building. Now what goes inside? You need the set, the scenery for a particular act. That's your scene. It holds all the visual stuff in your window. And the cool part is, just like in a play, you can totally swap out scenes. You can go from, say, your login screen to the main dashboard just by changing the scene.
All right, so we have our theater, we have our set. What's missing? The actors, the props. In JavaFX, these are called nodes. A node is basically anything you can see on the screen. A button, a piece of text, an image, you name it. They're the real building blocks of your user interface. Okay, so we've got our stage, our scene, and our actors, our nodes. But how do you actually arrange everything? Are you seriously expected to code every single X and Y coordinate by hand? Phew, thankfully no. This is where things get really cool. Let me introduce you to the JavaFX Scene Builder. This is a straight-up visual drag-and-drop editor. You can build your entire user interface visually, move things around, resize them, and it writes all the XML layout code for you. It's like having a professional set designer on your team, but it's a tool. And actually using it? It's so simple. You just open up an FXML file, start dragging components like labels and images right onto your canvas, and tweak their properties in a side panel. When you hit save, boom! Scene Builder generates a perfect layout file all ready for your Java code to plug into. And this right here? This is the whole point. This is the big idea. By using FXML and Scene Builder, you create this clean separation between what the app looks like and what it does. A designer can work on the FXML file while a developer works on the Java code. It makes everything so much more organized and way easier to manage down the road. All right, so we've used Scene Builder to create this gorgeous-looking UI. It's beautiful, but right now, it's just a pretty picture. It doesn't do anything. So let's talk about how we make it come alive and actually respond when a user interacts with it. So how do we make it do stuff? The magic behind this is something called event handling. The idea is really simple. When a user does something, like click a button, JavaFX creates an event. Your job is to write a little piece of code called an event handler that listens for that specific event and then runs when it happens. And honestly, this is one of those places where you can really see how far modern Java has come. On the left, you've got the old way of doing this. It works, but look at all that boilerplate code. It's so clunky. But then look at the right. That's the modern way, using something called a lambda expression. It's this tiny, elegant little arrow function that does the exact same thing. So much cleaner, right? And it goes way beyond just a simple click, too. JavaFX gives you incredible control. You can make things happen when a user just hovers their mouse over something or when they click and drag. You get super fine-grained control over pretty much any interaction you can think of. Okay, so we've got the theory down pat. We know how to build a layout, we know how to make it interactive, but what's this all for? Where is JavaFX actually used out there in the real world? Well, its bread and butter is definitely desktop apps. We're talking about things like complex business dashboards, data analysis tools, that kind of thing. But look how versatile it is. It's used for data visualization, for educational software, and even in embedded systems. The screens on a smart fridge or an industrial control panel.
You know what separates a hobby project from a really professional-looking app? How it behaves when you resize the window. You don't want all your buttons and text getting scrambled, right? Well, JavaFX has this brilliant solution for that headache, and it's called layout panes. Seriously, think of these as your secret weapons for making layouts that just work. Each one is a smart container that handles the arrangement for you. Need a horizontal toolbar at the top? Use an H-box. A vertical list of items on the side? That's a V-box. A complex form? Grid pane is your best friend. You just drop your components in, and the pane handles all the tricky resizing logic automatically. It's fantastic.
So when you put it all together, JavaFX gives you this amazing combination of a modern, visual way to design your app, all backed by the raw power and stability of Java. You have all the pieces you need to go from a simple idea to a really sophisticated, polished application that can run anywhere. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?